Oi.
But wow, how is it going, bro? Take
Good
the
and you,
shot.
buddy. What's happening with that background?
It's off. It's gone. It's done. That's just
Yeah.
for the Zoom meetings at work, bro.
Oh, classic, but
Look at that hair. What is coming on, eh?
yes, it is, eh? Yes, it's like yours, but it's mine is definitely at that awkward stage where it's like it has to be
Yeah.
wet, but
Yes.
to um to look like semi okay. But as soon as it's dry, it's like flipping puffy up at the top.
Yeah, you got to get that weight to start to hang off the back of their head, bro. But be patient. It'll come quickly. 3 months' time, but you'll have a full set.
3 months, woo! Classic, man.
The old saying, hey, good things take time, my boy.
Yes, just tell me about it, man. Tell me about it.
Mm.
Yeah, how you keeping, bud? What's happening?
Whew, fucking hell, but I just went for lunch with my friend Rhino, but I was just saying, like, but the activity level literally, like, I get up now probably like 6:45, so I don't like force myself to get up early. I'm like literally with my own rhythm, so like 8 hours sleep is good. And then I'll do a meditation, and then literally from 8 o'clock it's just fucking on the bells and whistles, tuck, 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 and phone calls and organizing. But by 3 o'clock I'm toast.
Yeah.
Absolute toast by 3 o'clock. um and it's been stressful. Like, I'm going to be quite honest, like I fucking have anxiety, bro.
Wow.
And it's been like this for a couple of, like, it's probably been like this for the last week, only because I've got a couple of very big ships that now are coming into play. And there's been a lot of pressure from corporate side, not just on our company. In fact, our company has been amazing. Our leadership has been absolutely fucking phenomenal. But pressure from the cruise lines coming up, and, dealing with difficult personalities that are, are making bigger deals of things. But it's just that constant reminder that it's just a moment in time. So whenever I go through this now, I'm like, okay, so it's going to feel like this. It's okay. In a week's time, we move on, and then it's the next thing, and this won't even be an issue anymore. So you just got to constantly remind yourself of that, through the good and the bad, that, okay, fuck it, it's just a moment in time, brother. It will be like this for a couple of days or weeks, and then it'll be something else.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. And you have to keep that mindset in life, don't you? Like, because otherwise you go flipping crazy. But like you said, or you get, like I said, you get some sort of anxiety, whatever, because you're fucking worrying and all this stuff, and it doesn't do you any good whatsoever. But yes, that's for
No,
sure.
worry doesn't, bro. And the only antidote to worrying is to take action. Either take action and fix it or address it, or surrender to it. But staying in that moment of panic and fear and anxiety, that doesn't serve you at all.
Tell me about it. Yeah, it's a slippery slope, but that's for sure. We moved houses this week, or we moved from an apartment to a house, and yes, but what a difference! Seriously, like I haven't had outdoor space like this since leaving South Africa. No joke. Like
Yeah, since
living,
your parents' house, bro.
yeah, like in London, my house, I had like this small little, I lie. I did for a while. I had like a biggish backyard, but I don't know. It's different in London, but you don't necessarily get the opportunity to use it that much, because the weather's so flippin' average, to be honest with you. And then the last few years, I had a smaller backyard because I'd done renovations. So, and it wasn't even a garden or anything. It was just like I'd paved it and everything. So it was just like this little concrete backyard thingy. But now we have a garden, and it's just, I mean, it's a game changer. But like, yes, it's amazing, like having this extension of your house. It feels like so much bigger, because you're actually spending most of the time outside. And now, like, because we were just in an apartment for the last year, like the winter was actually really cold in the apartment because the sun never hit it at all. Like literally the angle of the sun and the direction of it, like it just didn't hit our like little apartment, because we were in the spot we were in. So it was flipping freezing. Like, but if you're out in the sun, it's actually warm. Like I'm in a short and t-shirt. But yeah, like it's so different. But and obviously we've got little Bella now, and she's like a new, not a, she's always been, she's full of energy and whatnot, but she's like, oh my God, is this my house? Am I here? Like it's just so crazy. And I got to tell you, one of the things, and it sounds ridiculous, but it's flipping so true, that I've enjoyed the most, but is hanging up the washing on a washing line and flipping getting it dried within a day in the sun. Like it's like I'm like, oh my God, this is so amazing. So great.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
small things,
amazing,
but
bro.
yeses.
Wow, now so we come full circle, bro, and we become our parents, huh?
Exactly, but exactly. Like, yes, it's funny. You laugh at your folks, like, it's some of the conversations they have, and they're like, oh, yes, I can't wait to do the gardening and stuff. And you're like, yes, yolks are so boring. And now it's like, okay, yeah, no, me too.
Wow. Wow. But as you were explaining about the sunshine and how cold it is, but I just suddenly had this like realization that how incredibly amazing is the fact that we have the source of light and energy, bro. Like
Mm.
without the sun, everything would be frozen, 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 frozen.
Yeah,
And that space itself is freezing, bro.
yeah,
So without these suns radiating that energy, nothing exists.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's the most important thing for like life, isn't it? The sun. So, it really um what's the word? It really like allows, it's not the right word, but like, life is because of the sun on Earth, and everything like weather and the main reason weather changes and stuff, is because of the sun. But
Yeah.
um yeah, it's incredible, flipping hell.
Wow, dude, and so the more you think about it, the more you're like, dude, how incredible is this whole system? And
Yeah,
it's just so plausible that something has put it all together, like absolutely, like, fuck, how could
yeah.
it not?
Yeah, yeah. It's crazy, man. And talking about the sun, like I've had like a real kind of reminiscing kind of day. There's a few things here. So, um, someone posted. Well, let me first talk about the sun. So, I don't know if you ever did it as a kid, but did you ever like try and get your batteries like their energy up by putting them in the
Yes,
sun? You
yes,
did it.
yeah.
So Marissa, like, I found some batteries. I'm like, oh, are these batteries okay? She's like, oh no, you can chuck them out. I'm like, no, no, no. So I've got them in the sun. Yeah, I don't know if we'll see if you normally get like an extra 5 or 10 minutes or something, but so but it just reminded me of being a kid, like putting my flipping batteries out in the sun. But um, and then the other one was I don't know, someone posted something somewhere the other day about like music, and like, with everything going on at the moment, people are like quite anxious and that sort of stuff. And she was like, this lady's post was like, you should you should really put on some music, like, and because music is like so therapeutic, and it brings back memories and all these sort of things. And this one was, she was specifically in England. She's like, hey, all you people in the UK, she's like, you should put on some English folk music, because that's kind of like part of your DNA, and it will help just kind of like soothe the soul a little bit. And I thought it was like a really interesting thing. And then I was like, oh yeah, music. And like, we hadn't been listening to music like, or like had it playing in the background for ages, Marissa and I, like, and then until we moved into this house, like, we just like, we haven't literally stopped playing music. And I've like had it in my iPad. I've been playing Offspring, Green Day, and then the other one was a
Wow,
flippin'
dude, standard 6, standard 7.
exactly, but the other one was Def Leppard, but and I don't know if you ever remember, but like Gary Harvey, one of our mates, he that was the first uh, tape that I recorded from a CD. So Gary had the CD, and I was like, I was never that posh. Like, I was like, let me tape this from you. That was like, and I was like, I played the greatest hits, and I was like, yeah, banging out Def Leppard greatest hits. It was so funny, but
Oh, dude, remember that? There was some wonderful rock ballads on that Def Leppard CD, but good dancing and snogging music.
exactly, yeah, slow dancing, but yes.
Hands around the waist.
Yes.
Can I drop the hands? Can I
Yeah.
cuddle the backside?
Yes.
Dude, man.
Yeah.
Teenage years, man,
Yeah.
full of hormones, full of like the excitement of everything, but
Yeah.
everything
Yeah.
is new.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. And you know what's so cool? They've done like a sort of, I don't know if it's scientific, but they've done a study on reminiscing and like actually how healthy that is to kind of reminisce. There's a study that was done years ago, like in the UK. They took all these older people, like 60s, 70s, and they basically put them in this sort of house, but they were allowed to kind of decorate their rooms as if they were like youngsters again, and then they like showed like old TV shows on the TV and played all the music and stuff, and they were literally in the house for like a month, I think. And like all these people came out of it with like a new lease of life. One guy, no jokes, went in on like crutches, or like one of those walking things that helps you walk, those four like
Zimmer frame.
Zimmer frame, exactly. Yeah, he came out walking, but after the month, he went in the Zimmer frame, came out walking because they were doing this like experiment on reminiscing, and nostalgia, and it was like it's incredible, man, when you think about it, because it does make you happy.
Brother, it does, right? And so you can invoke the same emotional state that you've had from experiences in the past, and you can do it through music is a very powerful one. The sense of smell is a super powerful one. When you smell, for example, for me, two very happy thoughts that I have always of my upbringing, living with my grandparents, was the smell of cut grass on a weekend.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Waking up to the the
Mowed
lawnmower and
lawn.
then the
Yeah.
cut grass, and also bacon and eggs being cooked in the kitchen,
Hmm.
while someone else was up before you cooking and preparing breakfast for the family to then go and enjoy a meal together. So those two smell put me into an instant good mood. But also, we've had the experience of, going partying and being in ecstatic states. And then you hear the music, the next day or even weeks later, and you can, suddenly you have that rush of euphoria and ecstasy come through in your body again. It's these beautiful triggers from the sensory system.
Yeah, definitely. And you have like these songs that you hear like when you go on holiday, and it's like the holiday song, and then you'll be like driving like, I don't know, whatever, a year or two later, and you'll hear the song and you'll be like, oh yeah, that was that holiday. That was flipping cool, wasn't it? It brings back all these memories.
Do you remember that one holiday we took with Brendan? Brendan had his red Opel, and we drove down.
I don't think I was there.
Were you not there? Maybe it was
No.
Brandon, Brendan, and Bruce. I thought you were there. But mate, we had this one CD that we listened to the whole time that in that car, that 6-hour drive down to Derbs, the whole vacation, and then the drive back. And I think if I had to hear any of those songs again, but there would be like an instant burst of youthful energy come through.
Yeah, definitely. I remember when we went on matric holiday, the one that Fanta in the area. I don't know if you remember that song, but that was a big one for that holiday. Fanta in the area. I can't remember
it wasn't Fanta. It was
what was it?
It was the name of the singer. Something in the area. I remember. It was man. What was the guy's name? He was a rapper, South African rapper.
Kwame or
something like that. Yeah. In the area.
I don't know why I remember Fanta, but I just remember Fanta in the area.
But you're thinking of Pizza Hut and McDonald's.
Yes, I remember that one, but McDonald's. What's and a
Kentucky
pizza
Fried Chicken and Pizza
Hut.
But I wasn't even on that vacation with you. But when you and Brandon and Bruce came back from that one, bro, you guys were singing that the whole time, man.
Yes, but I now even just singing that, I can take myself back to like face planting and coming off the piste, like in the snow in Austria, and like in snow as deep as my waist, but and there's Bruce and Brandon still on flipping the slopes. They're doing their flipping things like this, and I'm like, yes. Now I've got to walk back to these oaks, and they're singing the song to me. It was so funny, but
that is awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah,
buddy, you're looking extremely well, by the way. Your skin's looking clear and fresh. You're looking youthful.
Am I? Oh, thanks, bud. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I mean, I think there's a change of energy now living in this house. Like literally both Marissa and I feel it. We're like, yes, it just feels different, you know. Um, so yeah, thanks, man. But although you probably can't see my nose, all my lips, like Bella, like our little dog. I've been playing like a new game with her, but she's still a little bit like she bites a little bit. You know, she's still kind of puppyish, and she's not obviously aware how sharp her teeth are. So that yesterday she got my nose well and proper, like just like opening her mouth, but then her tooth just went, and
I
then
can
she
see the
also
little cut there. Yeah.
yeah. Um, so yeah, but yeah, but I don't know. I think sometimes it's just this change of environment is a change of energy, you know. And also, bad, I won't lie, but like the last 2 nights, I don't think I've slept as well as that in such a long time, probably a couple,
Oh,
probably years, but like literally, it
that's a big
is
statement.
silent, but like literally, we what I'm looking at now is sand dunes. Like it's so beautiful. I'll send you a video later, but it's like, but and there's no other houses like going that way at all. So it's really, we're in a small little place, but it's like honestly, but it's so quiet. It's unbelievable. Like and it's weird. Like I normally wake up and go for a slash like in the middle of the night, you know. It's just, but the last 2 nights I haven't either. I just like flipping literally, you know, went to bed like early, but as well like 9 or something, 9:30, and then woke up at 5:30, and I was like, yeah, see, that's amazing. It's like literally like a log. So yeah.
That's
Um
awesome. Well, good for you, brother. I hope you
yeah.
continue to have that peaceful rest. But being somewhere where it's dead silence and you don't have noise of cars or people around you, I think is super beneficial for you.
Mm.
And being in a good, healthy, energetic space, but is going to be great. You got a spare room there, right?
Yeah, but yeah, it's got your name
Okay,
all
good.
over it, bud.
Because I'm definitely coming to dominate that bed, bro, at some
That's
stage
what's
before
bad.
the end of the year.
Yeah, well, you're welcome. But and yeah, I'm looking to get some like nice weights and stuff, and because I really want to get into my coaching again properly. So I want to I'm going to get the weights. I'm going to get a slack line, a bath to do ice baths, and yeah, I just want to like add another dimension to the sort of coaching, bringing everything together finally. You know what I mean? So
And
um,
practicing it.
so yeah, whenever you're here, bud, we're gonna do some flipping cool stuff.
Awesome. Great. No, good, buddy.
Yeah.
But I picked up a new client, a young Jewish guy, 25 years old.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, it's been really nice, man. Like I'm still loving the coaching. I've got a couple of clients that are like consistent now. I have one guy that just continually coaches all year round.
Awesome.
Um, but man, it's just a reminder, even at the end of the day. So like this guy now, because my day is so busy, I can only coach him at 7 in the evening. And he
Mm.
comes around here and we go sit in the garden and we do our sessions. But
Oh, cool.
even when you're tired, you're doing something that you really love, where afterwards
Mm-hmm.
you just energized again, and you're like, yeah, man. And the shit that just the banter and the, what comes out of both of us. Like yesterday, he said, he was like, oh my God, like I'm remembering things and retrieving stuff that I know in my heart of hearts is a reason why I'm making these decisions in my adult years, because in the first session we explain all of that. And then he was like, oh yeah, that's interesting. And then yesterday he was like, holy shit, now I'm starting to understand it. Because, stuff's coming up to him. He's like, and I guess if that's the first thought that comes up to me and it feels true, then that is the thing.
Mm.
And it's amazing, but that self-realization on things. Remember, you and I uncovered some really important stuff for me. That has just been game changer.
Yeah. I mean, for both of us, like it was like so powerful, just coaching each other, wasn't it? Like learning from each other, just our different styles and different things and stuff. And I still want to learn the what's that? What's your first session called? Where you sort of tell the type of person that they are. Like their
The
traits and stuff.
disc personality report.
Yeah, that's one. I definitely want to. I want to learn that. Because I think that is so powerful. And yeah, it just gives you some really good insight into yourself, first of all, but also into as a coach, into the person. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, look, I can give you access to it, but like if you just want the codes, they're $25 a code, and you can just purchase them through me and
Yeah.
then activate it that way. But
Yeah, sweet. Yeah.
and I'll give you all the notes for the disc on how to go through the notes and the session plan. It made it super powerful, and everybody that does it, it's like, wow, how eerily accurate it is.
Yeah, it's crazy, eh? It's really cool. Yeah. Yeah, man. But yeah, how are things otherwise? Like everything good? Like besides like, work, just rushing around, you're still finding time to train and
Yes. Yeah,
yeah.
I've definitely made. So the interesting thing is this: I've completely changed the way that I train. And I had this conversation with my friend Alex, who's been like my spiritual brother this last year and a half. We've grown a lot together, and we go super deep on all sorts of like spiritual stuff. Life is just one spiritual journey. But he's in phenomenal shape. But he's a personal trainer himself. But he's more like he calls himself a guide. And while exercise is one component of it, while he takes you through that, teaches you how to connect with your breathing, how to connect with your body, listen to your body, how to feed your body according to what it's asking you for, rather than following some caloric program. Sorry, boy, hold on 1 second.
Yeah, no worries, bud.
Alrighty. Sorry, G, what was I saying?
Yeah.
I was on a good roll here.
Yeah, you were. I'm trying to remember now what you were talking about. Coaching. Your client.
It was talking about Alex, right?
Yes, Alex, your mate.
My training. So I think I had some kind of like body dysmorphia, where for a long time certainly throughout my whole 20s, and probably even when we were younger, when we were like 14, 15, when we started gymming, it was all about trying to become muscular and big. And because I was always so skinny growing up, it was something I carried with me for probably a better part of 20 years, from at least 20 all the way through to 40, where my drive was always to try and be over 80 kilograms. And 80 kilograms is, for me, it was always a battle to try and get there and stay there. I needed to eat a lot of food. I needed to train really hard. And so that's what I did. And this whole mind shift over the last year and a half, I've really come to realize that actually flexibility and posture and mobility and being lighter rather than heavier actually is way better for you. And so as I've started to just look at my body and be like accepting and be, okay, cool. So, this is the body that I've got, and I love it and I appreciate it and I accept it. And I'm not going to try and force it to be something that it's not. And so with that has come listening to my body, that actually I don't need as much food as I was consuming, that actually I don't need to train 7 days a week. And so my training has now gone into a flow. Like a couple of months I'll be lifting heavy weights, but I'll only be doing that maybe 3 times a week, really focused. Then I've started layering stretching and relaxing and yoga, which has been just new, and it's the first time I've actually enjoyed yoga. And I feel and I look more athletic than I have probably ever. And Alex, who's got the most incredible physique, actually looked at me the other day and he goes, dude, you're looking super athletic, and you're looking like your body is in, it's like in a state of joy.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what it comes from? But it comes from actual self-love, from surrendering and appreciating what you have. Because somewhere deep down inside, I recognize that maybe the patterns I had, why I was trying to work out so hard, was actually because I wasn't happy with my body, and that I was trying to force it to look like something else.
Wow. Yeah, that's incredible, hey, bud, because you're almost like fighting it onto you, and you're not allowing it to be what it wants to be. You're trying to create something else. It's wow, it's really cool. Like you said, that he's this guide that can actually make you aware of that, and that's flipping cool, bud. That's really, really good, But I always thought you were, like you say, you didn't eat, you were eating too much maybe but you were always good with your food. But I always remember like when we would go out and eat and like you would leave food and I'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with this Oki? Like he's not even finishing his food. I was like, I always thought you were super disciplined, with that sort of thing. So wow, it's really interesting that you thought you were eating too much.
Yeah, I mean, I would always leave the extra chips or the extra potatoes, right? Like that little habit. But I think in terms of quality of food, I've always been like probably 80% very diligent with that. So that's probably also why I've never really ever got fat.
Mm.
Um, but in terms of eating too much, what it came down to was also recognizing the pattern of our eating. I know we've spoken about this before, where the habitual routine of eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then snacks in between was purely a story. And if I actually listened to my body when I was eating some of those meals, it was like I'm eating, but I'm actually not even hungry.
Yeah.
And so it's eat when you're hungry and don't eat when you're not.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, exactly. But yeah, and yeah, like you said, we made to think that yeah, you have to eat this time and that time, and this is better for you and whatever. But like, I mean, once again, all of us are just so different. You know, we just have to find out what really works for us ultimately.
Boy, I'm so sorry. Hold on one
Yeah.
more second.
Yeah, no worries, bud.
Sorry, boy. But that one I had to take. It's it's my new love interest.
The Missouri chick.
The Missouri chick, yeah.
Classic.
Uh,
But
fuck
yeah.
yeah. It's the fucking dance, but my life is super interesting, that's for sure.
No, not a boring moment, eh, but that's good.
Fuck yeah. So what?
Yeah.
Sorry, buddy. What
No,
we
no, no. We had just finished talking about like bodies and like how yeah, just how basically everyone is different and we need to kind of listen to our bodies. And I think yeah, that was it. So we finished that.
how do you feel about your body now when you look at it, bud? Like, do you take moments to actually love and appreciate your body? And
Um,
having gone through all the bodybuilding stuff and the experimentation you've played on your body over the last 10 years, like, where do you sit now and how do you feel?
yes, I would. If I'm totally honest, I would probably be a little bit embarrassed to take my top off. You know, just because. I know I just haven't trained, but I literally haven't trained for such a long time. I haven't seen the inside of a gym, but for like over 2 years, no joke. Like I literally haven't, you know. Um, so yeah, like, and because once you've been in a certain, you know, physique, you know, you kind of like you stick with that a little bit in your mind, you know where you've been. Um, but I also recognize that this is just part of life. You know, you're gonna have these sort of different physiques, and you're gonna go up and you're gonna go down, and yeah, like it was meant to be. Like I feel like it sounds kind of strange, but I feel like I've used the last 2 years to almost strengthen my mind and my I want to say soul, like sort of thing, but you know, like I think I've used it to get that part right. You know, and my physical body was always pretty strong, but I needed to match my mind to match that, and now I am ready and in the right energy space to start getting physically in shape again. You know, and this move has been part of that. So yeah,
Brother,
so
what you will
yeah,
recognize, and this is funny, that your body is going to react super quick. Like, I promise you, bud, like, I can start training for a week in a gym and there's a noticeable difference.
yeah,
And I think, one, we have that muscle memory from all the years that we did train our body. And two, what you're talking about is raising and putting all of your energy into a different component of your physical being, which is your mind,
mm,
um, has allowed you, because everything requires energy, right? And so, of course,
hmm,
it makes sense that if you're going to develop and grow mind wise, that you need to put all the energy that you were normally putting into your physical body also there. And I wonder, that's a very interesting point to bring up. Do you, to bring balance to your life, are there moments in your life where you need to then put more focus and energy and attention onto one aspect to help to then recalibrate and bring everything into balance? And it sort of makes sense. And then the
yeah.
seasonality of life, that when you say now you feel ready, that you're in the right energetic space, it's almost like, someone picks you up and goes, okay, now you're ready to exercise again. You feel motivated to do it, right?
Yeah, 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 exactly. Yeah, I mean, I think, look, you can have both of them going at the same time, you know, but like, I think I just personally felt that I needed energy and time to do other things, and one of them had to give, you know, the gym or the the gym had to give so that I had time to just sort of spend time, just understanding myself in the world the last couple of years, and that was including getting my, just a stronger mind going. So, but you can definitely, I mean, you definitely have both of those going right now. You have, great physique, you're training hard, and you've been, on a great sort of spiritual, soulful journey for a long time. So, yeah, I mean, you always have inspired me, and you still do, like, to this day, with your dedication of those things.
Ditto, buddy. Thank you,
Yeah.
mate.
Yeah, cool, man.
Yeah, buddy. It's so important. Self-love and giving yourself attention, but fuck it, it's so important. So important. And the moments when you recognize that you're giving your power away to, business activities or other people's wants and needs for you and your energy. And I think a lot of people get stuck in that, that wave of someone else's activity and idea for what they want you to do for them, rather than you actually go and hold them healthy boundaries. And there is time allocated for me, my development, my growth, my time, my space, my enjoyment. And so, yeah, dude, I must say, I look at your life and I think you've played it. I think up to now you've played life super well, brother. Like, you have now in a position to be, living in Brazil, where financially you're able to look after yourself and you've got things going. And so kudos, bro. You've always been so disciplined that way.
Yeah, thanks, buddy. Yeah, yeah, we all have our things that we're like super good at, and other places where we lack, and we just need to we just need to kind of maybe work on the things that we lack on sometimes, but then at the same time also enjoy and focus on your strengths too. Just try to become a rounded person, I think, at the end of the day. But that for me, that is like the most important thing, like really try to become a rounded person, like in everything you do. Have a little bit of, like, everything. Look after your health, look after your mind, eat well, good relationships, community, you know what I mean? Like, work, fulfillment, all these things. Like, it sounds, I don't know, to me, it doesn't even sound ridiculous, but I really think, like, you don't have to excel. You actually don't have to excel at anything. Just look for a rounded life, and you'll probably be more fulfilled and happy than anything.
I love that. Thank you, buddy. Thank you for that, for that point. It's so true. I think that's it. But I think, fuck, whenever anybody that feels out of balance, is purely because you just got to bring balance. Look at the areas where you just haven't been given it attention, and the things that you desire. And often we desire things because we don't have them in our life because we just haven't given them enough time and attention.
Yeah.
And so you build that in. I must say, work-wise, I'm very excited for this hybrid model that we're going to be entering into, because I feel like 3 days in the office brings way more balance to life structure than this 5 days of fucking 9 hours a day, which is, it's crazy. It's the biggest chunk of your life.
Yeah.
And I just think it's fucking criminal.
Yeah, I agree 100%. But yeah, and you'll enjoy those 3 days back in the office as well,
Yeah.
because especially because you're a people's person for sure, and you thrive off other people's energy. So do I. Like, and they also thrive off your energy. You know what I mean? Because of your upbeatness. So yeah, I think having you in the office is just as important for you as it is for other people. Probably more important for them. You know what I mean? Like, to be around you, I reckon. That's just based on personal experience, and I can imagine in the workplace it's the same thing. People need that, but especially now, people are really in dire need of flippant positivity, but and hope. Like, literally, yeah, see, people need hope right now.
It's so true. We do. We need each other more than ever, and we need the best versions of ourselves for each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good way to end it, I think. Like, people
Perfect.
just remember that we all need each other. We need each other, and we need the best in each other. Let's stop all this bloody bickering and fighting and divisiveness and bullshit, and work on yourself, work on each other, and put your best foot forward. Seriously. Oh, my
Brother.
boy. Love you,
Dude,
my
I can't
boy.
wait to come visit you. Love you, buddy. Thank you so much for the conversation again, bro. And give my love to Marissa. I love your guys' little Instagram combo.
Thanks, man. I don't think that's all her, not me. So,
man, she had a great photo of you walking through the forest. I was like, holy shit, but you've really got some proper forest on your doorstep, bro.
Yeah. It's the jungle, but like literally
Wow.
jungle. Seriously, it's crazy.
Wow.
It reminds me. I mean, it's not as deep as you and I when we went to Peru, but
Dude, how was that trip,
yes,
bro?
I still remember. Yes, that's like one of the highlights, eh? But that flipping trip to Iquitos, but flipping crazy, hey.
It's fucking wonderful, bro.
Yeah.
Dude, if it just wasn't for the fucking mosquitoes, eh?
Yes, yeah. Those mozzies, but remember we had flipping jeans, gumboots, t-shirts,
Raincoats.
raincoats, like hoodies. We had the leaves to flipping, swat the flipping mozzies, and the things would still. And we had like our backs were full of like mosquito repellent, and the things would still bite you through your backs, and you had like, yes, this is crazy, man.
Relentless, bro. Relentless.
Yeah,
Relentless.
yeah,
Yeah. Wow.
yeah,
What a fucking, but that memory I'll treasure my whole life, man. That
yeah.
trip was epic.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we started with reminiscing and nostalgia, and
Do you know?
that's how we
Yes,
ended.
exactly. And we've
Eh?
gone to it. You know what we should
Exactly.
do? Gareth, our next talk. Let's talk each other through our experience on that trip and see
Okay,
how many
cool.
memories we can pull up
Yeah,
from
yeah,
our minds.
yeah. Cool. Okay, lekker. I must go through some photos. I don't. Unfortunately, I don't have them. They're still in London, but like, you'll have to look at Facebook. We got quite a few there. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Awesome.
cool, my
Oh, my
boy.
boy. Love you, China. Have a
Love you so
wonderful
much.
evening. Eh?
Yeah, you too, buddy. Cool. Um.